The Greensboro sit-ins in 1960 represented a major shift in the attitude of African Americans about racism and segregation. The movement defied what had been accepted as the norm. Black people were not allowed to eat in restaurants with whites, use the same public bathrooms as whites, nor drink from the same water fountain as whites. Although many people talked against and others marched against this blatant discrimination against blacks, no one actually took a stand against it until 4 college students from North Carolina A&T State University dared to take a stand. Over 50 years ago, Franklin McCain, Joseph McNeil, Ezell Blair Jr., and David Richmond, now referred to as the Greensboro Four, sat down at a whites-only counter at the F.W. Woolworth Five and Dine retail store in Greensboro, North Carolina, and refused to leave. For 6 months, they sat in a silent protest until eventually they were served in the late July of 1960. Their courage and determination sparked nonviolent protests against segregation that spread all across the South. The strength and boldness of these 17 and 18-year-old college students is vividly brought to life at the International Civil Rights Center and Museum in my hometown of Greensboro, North Carolina. The museum plays a very important role in Greensboro's history. I sat down with the museum's executive director, Bamidele Demirson, as we discussed the significance of the museum both locally and abroad.
I think that the International Civil Rights Center and Museum in Greensboro is important to this city, but it is also important to the nation and indeed the world. Who would have ever thought that a Five and Dine, the F.W. Woolworth store, would become the center of profound change in the country that we call the United States of America?
The International Civil Rights Center and Museum provides learning opportunities for people of all ages. The museum has established a goal to attract 150,000 school-aged children to its exhibits. In fact, a trip to the International Civil Rights Center and Museum has been incorporated into the 4th and 8th grade curriculum in several North Carolina school districts. As my discussion with Bamidele Demirson came to an end, he challenged me, as a young black male college student, to have a candid discussion with my own peers about the significance of the civil rights movement and the courageous efforts of college students just like me. I left with a sense of moral responsibility to take an active role in molding my future and impacting the society in a positive and lasting way. Hopefully I can do my part as well as these 4 guys did. This is Keith Manley II, WEDT.